Wouldn't it be amazing to know if you were safe or unsafe in the world? Like if you were going traveling or if you were just going for a walk in a certain area or going out with a new person or a new boyfriend or girlfriend. Wouldn't that be an incredible skill to have? Well, I have a way for you to figure this out through some number codes that I use. Stay tuned to the end of this video for a psychic puzzle to practice your intuitive abilities. Over the past 10 years, I've spent many, many hours calculating a system involving numbers, and I've tested them and they work. They all work incredibly well. So in this video, I'm going to share safe and unsafe. So safe is 720. So whenever you see the numbers 720, it means safe. It means it's okay to go on that date. It means it's good to maybe take that job. It means it's a good time to go out and drive in traffic. It's a good time to leave. Safe might mean a sense of security in your house. Maybe you know that you're safe in the neighborhood. Maybe you go for a bike ride or a road trip somewhere to a new place and you see the safety code. It's going to be safe. That doesn't mean it's going to be healthy, fun, other things, but safe. I have codes for all those other things, but safe would be a good start point, and it's definitely a great code to have. Unsafe would be 721. So I can tell you times when I've seen 721, it goes right along with a feeling that maybe the house isn't safe. And I live in a really safe neighborhood. And I remember seeing that code thinking, what is this? Because I'd also had a feeling that something wasn't right. And I remembered have the feeling we better make sure we should lock the house up really good and make sure that the outside lights are on and that kind of thing. And then I'd find out weeks later that there was a string of robberies. Or at one point in my past, I shared a side-by-side townhouse and the neighbor left their garage door open and we shared a garage door and their side got broken into. They didn't get into the house, but they tried to kick in the door and they made kind of a mess of the frame. So this is all really interesting evidence. I have a lot of it. It might be when the roads are bad. If I see 721, I'm not going to go out driving. You know, I live in the Rust Belt, so we get snow and ice and rain and wind and all of that. It might be if I'm going to go to a department store. I'll have kind of an eerie feeling and see that 721. And it might mean that unsavories are there or that there's an incident that happens. Sometimes I listen on my news app, there's police monitor recordings, and I'll hear about fights that break out or people that pull guns or things like that, or there's robberies. So again, that frequency I'm dodging and avoiding. I do this through the law of attraction. I do this paramount through energy hygiene. I teach this in all my Reiki and psychic development classes. I am responsible for my attraction point. So I can think of examples in my life where I was at a family event. I know I've used this one before and it was a great family event, but then all of a sudden I was just like, I'm done. I think I'm going to go. I'm done with this party. I think it was like a Labor Day or 4th of July, American holiday, something. And I left. And about 30 minutes later, my cousin called and said, wow, did you dodge something? And I said, what? And she said, literally right after you guys left. Right after you left, a cousin came in and he was just in a mood, and him and somebody else got in a huge screaming fight and it just wrecked the whole party and everybody left. So I thought, wow, I'd never seen anything like that, not at my family. So, but me and my children were not exposed to that. We were 720. We were safe. So this was long before the codes, by the way, but that would be an example of how you could use the codes. So 721 might also be something if you're traveling. You don't want to be pickpocketed, or you don't want somebody to, maybe scrape your car with their car door. To me, that's a form of not feeling safe. It could be somebody even just littering on your property, something that feels like a violation. So you can use these codes all the time. And the more you open yourself to these codes, I promise, the more you're going to start to see them. I recently had somebody tell me she's obsessed with the codes. She's seeing them all the time. For me, an example might be that I wake up in the middle of the night and I see a code. That happens all the time. I'll wake up, my phone is on airplane mode, no Bluetooth, none of that next to me. And I'll wake up and I realize my spirit guides are trying to communicate with me, and I listen and I grab my phone and turn it on and there's a code. And so that code gives me an indication of what's going on. I have codes for my mom and her dog. And I saw the dog's code. Her dog has Addison's disease, and her dog had an Addison event that day. So I trust them 1000%. I trust my spirit guides. Part of the reason that the codes work for me is my energy hygiene. So I'm not allowing hecklers or other energies to come in. So there is some tuning to do with this. You want to make sure that you're fine-tuned, and there has to be some kind of psychic skill here, because you could just sit and stare at license plates all day long and make up a whole crazy reality in your head. That's not how the code works. The code works that you're just not paying attention. All of a sudden you catch the clock. All of a sudden you catch a number on TV, maybe a program, and you hit pause. Or maybe you see, my favorite is license plates on TV. That's a neat one. My vibration attracted watching it at that moment. And then it's really something if you start seeing the codes over and over and over again. You see them on a license plate, on a clock. You see them, my gosh, in stock photos. Somebody has a watch and that particular number is on the watch. I mean, I've seen on product labels, all on songs. Maybe people sing about the song. Maybe you hear somebody say those numbers. Yeah, maybe you get a phone call, a missed call, a voicemail at that exact number. It's amazing. The length of the call is that number. So you'll start to see them everywhere. It's really kind of fun. So if you have any experiences with this after I'm telling you, we would love to hear about it in the comments. This is the fun part. This is the evidence, and these are the stories where these codes really come to life and really serve a positive purpose. It's psychic puzzle time. At the end of every one of my videos, I offer an opportunity to test your psychic skills. And so what I'd like you to do is channel Reiki energy. So we're going to imagine that the Reiki energy comes in through the top of our head and goes down our body and all the way down our feet, down to the core of the earth. And then from the core of the earth, all the way up our feet, up our body, and up out the top of our head like a fountain, and then out our right hand and in our left. And then breathe and drop your shoulders. And then I want you to feel something that feels really good and happy. Maybe imagine being hugged by a person and just feel that feeling. Imagine eating something that you absolutely love, petting a pet, a bright sunshiny day, a beach, anything that feels glorious. And I want you to feel that feeling just for a moment, and then imagine inflating it with Reiki energy all the way around you, a big protective bubble of light. And then when the puzzle comes up, take your time, hit the pause button if you need it, but go with your very first guess. Good luck. How did you do? Did you know you were going to get it right, or were you uncertain? If you guessed correctly, let me know in the comments. If you didn't guess correctly, don't beat yourself up, because it's not about getting it right. It's about learning to listen to your intuitive voice. This takes time and practice. If you're curious, my online courses, meditations, and live classes teach clear and practical ways to develop this skill. For more information, click on the links below.